At the beginning of the drama, we are introduced to the male lead, whose name is Xiao. He belongs to a very rich family and is currently in America. He has come here for a vacation. His friend says, "You've been bunking school for a long time. The high school exams are coming up. If you really skip the exams, the school will expel you. Your father will also find out about this." To this, Xiao says, "I don't care about these things. I will do what I want to do." Hearing this, his friend says, "Why are you doing this? Your dad spends so much money on you." Hearing this, Xiao says, "It's no big deal. He spends that money because he earns a lot every day. When he's earning so much money, where will he spend it? So he just gives it to me. And anyway, if he didn't have money, how would he control me and my mom's life?" Then he starts to remember his mom, and picking up his mom's photo, he leaves from there. Then we are introduced to the female lead, who works in a housekeeping company, and her name is Cheng Jen. She is very beautiful and active. Chung had posted for the Champions Trophy show. If she gets 5,000 views, she can go to watch the show. As soon as she checks, her 5K views are complete, and seeing this, she becomes very happy. Then we are shown a scene of Xiao, who is booking his ticket, but he suddenly stops while booking and says, "No, I can't book a ticket from my bank account. If I do that, that old man will find out that I went back home." He is referring to his dad as the old man. Then he gets an idea, and he contacts the housekeeping company. Chung receives the call and says, "Sir, this is number 5 speaking. How can I help you?" To which he says, "I have an apartment in Shanghai and I want to rent it out. Can you find someone for me?" Chung says, "All right, sir, I will find someone for you, but please tell me what your apartment is like." He gives her all the details and says, "My apartment is very luxurious." Xiao gives her all the details and says, "My request is that whoever takes my house, they must first buy a ticket for me, and it has to be first class." Chung is a bit surprised and says, "Your request is quite strange. You can buy your own ticket, can't you?" To which Xiao says, "Why are you asking so many questions? Just do as you're told." Chung doesn't like the way he talks at all, but she still smiles and says, "All right, I understand your request. Is there anything else you want to tell me?" To which he says, "Whoever takes the house, first get the house cleaned thoroughly, and I don't want anything to be damaged." Chung says, "All right, sir, as you command," and then hangs up the call. After hanging up, Chung takes a deep breath and says, "What a strange customer." Then we are introduced to a new character, Mr. Ran, who has come for the opening of a Korean brand. Then the scene shifts back to Cheng, who is practicing. She says, "Mr. Ran, my name is Cheng, and I am a very big fan of yours. Can I take a photo with you?" Then we are shown a scene at the aquarium where Xiao is checking everyone's tickets. Chung is also standing in line there. When it's Cheng's turn, she shows her ticket. The staff check her ticket, and Xiao says, "Check your poll. How many likes did it get?" Chung shows her poll. After seeing the poll, the staff say, "Your likes are not complete, so step aside." Hearing this, Chung gets tense. She starts looking around there and says, "Yesterday, the 50 likes were completed. Because of Chung, the line is getting disturbed." So Xiao says, "I'm sorry, but this is the rule. I cannot let you in. Please step out of the line." The staff forcibly remove her from the line. Chung requests, "Today is a very important day for me. Please don't do this." Then a scene from a little later is shown. Chung comes back and shows her poll to Xiao. "Please see, I have 50,000 likes. Please let me go inside." Xiao says, "Even if the views are complete, you still have to stand in line again." Hearing this, Cheng gets angry and leaves from there. Then a scene of the show is shown where the dolphin show had started, and Xiao was hosting because that aquarium belonged to his mom. Mr. Xiao asks everyone there, "Who will come and feed the dolphins?" Everyone raises their hands. Cheng is also there and is watching happily, but does not raise her hand. Mr. Xiao then tells a girl sitting in front of him, "You, come on stage," and that girl is Cheng. She is shocked and refuses to come on stage, but when it is announced, she agrees. Mr. Liu is also there, who was Mr. Xiao's dad's assistant. In the next scene, Mr. Xiao takes Cheng to the changing room. The staff gives them a suit and says, "There is a hairdryer in the locker, and after changing your clothes, lock the room and leave." Just then, an alarm starts ringing. So Chung says, "Wait for a moment," and quickly goes inside. Similarly, in the next scene, the chairman is introduced. His assistant, Mr. Liu, calls and informs him, Mr. Xiao has appeared in a reality show. So he says angrily, "He didn't even tell me." Then Mr. Liu says, "I have spoken with Mr. Ran and fixed the meeting." Now the chairman says, "Now you wait, I have changed my mind. Now Xiao will do this meeting, and just do as I tell you." On the other side, the scene shifts. Mr. Ran is leaving the show. Then Chung calls out and stops him. Then Chung comes to him and says, "Can I take a picture with you? I am a very big fan of yours. And most importantly, I am also the lucky audience member here. Please, take just one photo." Then Mr. Ran agrees. Chung stands with him, fixing her hair, but at that very moment, his staff quickly clicks a photo. When Chung sees the photo, she says, "This photo is absolutely terrible." Then she starts requesting, "Please, take one more photo. This one has come out absolutely useless." But Mr. Ran says, "I'm sorry, I am getting quite late," and he leaves from there. Chung stands there looking at the photo. In the meantime, Mr. Shiao comes back. He asks, "What happened? You couldn't catch the celebrity?" Chung gets irritated as soon as she sees him and says, "Why have you come here again?" She starts arguing with him and says, "Whatever happened to me today, it all happened because of you." Chung says angrily, "I am warning you because I don't want to see you. Don't ever come in front of me again after today." Saying this, Chung leaves from there. Mr. Shiao is surprised to hear her words. After Chung leaves, he says, "If she doesn't want to see me, then do I want to see her?" In the next scene, a hotel scene is shown. There, Mr. Liu tells Shiao, "Your dad said you should have a meeting with Mr. Ran." Then he sits with him and says, "I am here with a hope. Your father told me to tell you to meet Mr. Ran. You will be the one to do the meeting that is supposed to happen." Shiao refuses this and says, "That's impossible." Then Mr. Liu says, "It's up to you, whether you come or not." Saying this, he gives an invitation and says, "I know you have come to China, skipping your exams. If the chairman finds out about this, you know what a big problem it could be. But if you meet with Mr. Ran, this will never be known." And saying this, he leaves from there. Mr. Shiao gets angry, but he has no other option. A night ceremony scene is shown. Mr. Liu finalizes the deal by talking to Mr. Ran. Then he introduces him to Mr. Shiao, but he starts behaving strangely. Mr. Liu explains he is the chairman's son. To move the conversation forward, Mr. Liu says to Mr. Ran, "Come, please sit. What would you like to have?" Both are talking when Mr. Shiao drops his mobile phone on the ground and then starts hitting it hard. Mr. Ran is surprised to see him behaving like a madman. Then Shiao comes and sits down but keeps looking at them. Shiao apologizes to them. "I'm done. You were talking, please continue." Hearing his words, Mr. Ran smiles. He understands. He is not interested in meeting me. Mr. Ran says, "We will continue our meeting only when the chairman is well. Please call and inform me." After he leaves, Mr. Liu is very angry and says, "Now go downstairs and apologize to him. This is your last chance. If he refuses to deal with us, none of your mistakes will be hidden." On the other hand, a scene of Chung is shown. She is looking at Mr. Ran's picture and says, "Tomorrow, I will definitely meet him." Then at night, Chung comes to the award ceremony and looking at a photo of Mr. Ran, says to herself, "You can do it. This time I have to take a photo with him and tell him how great he is." Then it is shown, Mr. Ran says to Mr. Liu, "We should not waste other people's time." Then Mr. Xiao's gaze falls behind him, and he sees Chung saying to Mr. Ran, "Please take a photo with me." Just then, Mr. Ran's guard comes and takes him away. Chung is left standing there. Just then, Mr. Shiao comes and says, "Snow White, what are you doing here?" Chung says, "Why did you meet me again?" To this, Mr. Shiao says, "Look what you're saying. Meeting me is nothing less than an honor." Then he holds her hand and says, "Come, take a photo with me." So Chung pulls her hand away and says, "Have you gone mad?" and leaves from there. Next, Chung is going to her house. Suddenly the weather changes and it starts to rain, so Chung quickly goes to a bus stand. Now, Mr. Xiao's car stops there, and he says, "Snow White, you can come and sit with me. It's raining very heavily, I'll drop you home." Chung looks at him angrily. He is always joking and says, "I am not like other people, I am very kind." Chung says, "What are you talking about? I don't even know you, so how can I trust you? When I told you not to come in front of me, why are you repeatedly coming in front of me?" Mr. Shiao is very surprised to hear her words. Chung then says, "You can't even imagine how much I am hurting right now." Mr. Shiao says, "What is your problem anyway? I am talking to you politely, yet you are yelling at me." Chung says, "I will not go with you. Are you leaving from here or not?" But Shiao doesn't give any answer, just keeps looking at Chung. Seeing this, Chung leaves from there. Now the rain has become even heavier. Mr. Shiao says, "This girl's tongue is as sharp as the rain." Just then, a girl gets out of a car from behind and starts knocking on Mr. Xiao's car window. Because of this, Mr. Shiao looks out and says, "How did you suddenly get here?" The girl explains, "I was sitting in the back seat behind you." This girl's name is Shiao. She says, "You came here and didn't even tell me?" And she says, "I miss you a lot." Then she asks, "Who was that girl you were just talking to? Are you in a relationship with her or something?" Then Mr. Shiao quiets down and says, "If I talk to someone, what does that have to do with you?" Shiao says, "It has everything to do with me. I was waiting every day for you to come back for when you would return to China. And now that you're here, you're ignoring me? Let me tell you, you are only mine." Shiao says, "Have you said what you wanted to say?" She says, "Yes, I'm done." Hearing this, Shiao closes the window and starts the car and drives away from there. Then, at night, Chung keeps walking on the road for a long time, but finally gets a seat on a bus. Chung is very sad. She starts thinking about her past. When she was a college student, she met Mr. Ran for the first time and fell in love with him at first sight. She thought, perhaps Mr. Ran will remember me too, but Mr. Ran has long since forgotten her. Now Chung returns to her apartment, which she had rented out. As soon as she comes home, She is shocked to see the condition of the house. Everything is broken, and all the valuable things have been stolen. She is most saddened by one thing, because Mr. Xiao's mom had kept a plant for Xiao. That plant is also now missing from the house. Seeing this, he gets so angry that he calls the rent company. But he doesn't know that he is talking to Chung. He gets very angry at Chung and says, I rented out the house for a few days, and the person I gave it to broke all my things, and also stole the valuable items. What kind of service do you have? Chung listens to him and says, please wait a moment. I'll check and tell you who we rented the house to. At the same time, Chung is also apologizing to him. She says, don't worry, I will handle the situation quickly. But Mr. Xiao says, I don't have time to listen to useless excuses, so listen to me carefully. Number 5. If you are in the office, then wait for me right there. I am coming now. Saying this, he cuts the call and Chung gets worried. Then it is shown that he comes to the office and says, at the counter, I need to meet number 5. Call her out. The receptionist says, she's not in the office right now. She has gone out for lunch. You can give your message to me. Xiao says, does that mean you won't let me meet her? Saying this, he starts to go inside. He starts shouting in front of everyone. Are you number 5? He starts asking everyone, who is number 5? In the meantime, a girl is seen sneaking away, so he immediately grabs her hand and says, where are you trying to go? As soon as Chung turns, both are surprised to see each other. They say, you're here? Then Xiao takes her aside and says, you work here? This means you saved me from so many troubles. Now tell me, who is number 5? She did not do right by me. Chung is listening to his words. After venting all his anger, Xiao asks Chung, tell me, are you number 5 or not? Chung finally reveals, I am number 5. He looks at her ID card. After seeing the ID card, he gets very angry. In the next scene, it is shown that Chung tells everything to her office director. She says, we rented a house to someone and he left the house in a bad condition. The director apologizes to Xiao and says, please tell us which of your valuable items were stolen from your house. Xiao says, I don't know what all was stolen, but my mom had written a calendar for me with her own hands. That was also stolen. It was the most precious thing in the world to me. Hearing this, the director says, now we can't do anything. Hearing this from the director, Chung gets angry. Chung says, what kind of things are you saying? If he has suffered such a loss, we should help in some way. Mr. Xiao watches Ching supporting him. Meanwhile, Chung starts explaining to the director and says, we shouldn't react like this. All the valuable items in his house have been broken. We can't pay the price for those things, but we should give something. But the director is still arguing. Just then, Xiao says, you should listen to her. She is absolutely right. The director gets so angry that she tells Chung, I have expelled you from the job. Hearing the director's words, Xiao is shocked. So Chung says, when you don't care about right and wrong, I can't work in your office. It's a good thing you fired me from the job. In the next scene, Mr. Xiao's dad comes to meet him and is very angry. He shows him a paper which is from his university and asks, what do you have to say about this? Xiao says, I have nothing to say about this matter, and saying this, he starts to drink. Then his dad says, prepare yourself. I have already spoken to the company manager. From next month, you are going to work. Now that you have left your studies yourself, you will have to focus on work. You have to learn how life works. But Xiao is still arguing. He says, what is the need for me to go to the office when you have filled our house with money? Now let's just spend this money. By mistake, his dad mentions his mom, which makes Xiao angry. He stands up in anger and says, how dare you take my mom's name? My mom's death in a car accident was because of you. You have no right to take her name. His dad says, you don't believe me that her death was because of me. Hearing this, Xiao says, the fault is only yours. Why was my mom so sad on her anniversary? Why was she driving the car alone? You must have upset her. That's why her accident happened. Hearing this, his dad becomes completely silent. He says, just as you cannot forget that night, I cannot forget it either. Many things happened that night you can't even imagine. Xiao says, I don't care what you think about me. His dad says, but I care, because you are my son. What have you planned for your future? Whatever it is, I can't watch you ruin your career. If you don't want to work in my office, that's fine. Tomorrow, I will talk to a friend of mine and fix your internship. You can work there. Saying this, he leaves. Then an aquarium scene is shown, where Mr. Xiao is standing in front of a dolphin, remembering his mom and starting to cry. On the other side, a scene of Chung is shown. She receives a job message. Chung becomes very happy seeing this message. The next day, Xiao is sleeping, but his eyes open at the sound of the doorbell. He goes and opens the door, and Mr. Lu has come. Seeing him, Xiao feels very bad. He says, why have you come here so early in the morning? Mr. Lu says, you have to go to work from tomorrow. The chairman has said he will supervise you. If you refuse, he has told me your pocket money will be stopped, and the house you are living in will also be taken away. After Mr. Lu leaves, Mr. Xiao is looking at his diary, and this time it seems that his emotions are quite serious. Then an office scene is shown, where Mr. Lu brings in a new manager and says, from now on, this new manager will handle the company because this company needs a strong manager. Then another scene is shown, where Xiao's car is taken away. After that, he books a taxi and sits in it. He checks his bank account, but there is no money in it. He says, should I waste my time? A scene from a little later is shown. Mr. Lu and Xiao are standing outside the office. The manager is talking to Chung about someone else. The manager says, I have seen your work. This stage is quite tough. You will have to go out in the sun, convince people. If you can do it, then think about it. Just then, her gaze goes behind Chung. The manager starts to leave, but Chung runs to her and says, I will do this work. Then she sees Xiao there. The manager asks, do you two know each other? Chung immediately denies it and says, no, we don't know each other. Please do consider me. Xiao is watching all this. He takes Mr. Lu to his side and says, if you want me to work in the office, I will only work if that girl also works with me. Mr. Lu says to the manager, I heard that girl's words. I think she is capable. You should definitely give her a chance. The manager says, all right, I'll take your word for it and give her a chance. The manager leaves. Mr. Lu asks Xiao, tell me the truth, are you interested in that girl? But Xiao doesn't give any answer, just says thank you and leaves. Then the scene shifts, where Chung is going out looking very sad. Just then, she gets a message from the manager. As soon as she sees the message, Chung immediately comes back and is very happy. She says, thank you, ma'am, for giving me the job. I will never disappoint you. I will give my best. The manager says, all right, from now on you will sit there and work. When Chung turns around, she sees Xiao sitting there. She is surprised to see him. Then Chung goes and sits there. Xiao becomes happy seeing her and says, you are also in my team. But Chung doesn't reply to his words and is setting up her table. Seeing this, Xiao smiles and says, you know, I requested to have you hired here, right? Hearing this, Chung looks at him and asks, why did you do that? Xiao becomes serious and says, just because you are very dumb. Then Xiao smiles and says, so tell me, how old are you? Do you have a boyfriend? To this, Chung says angrily, if you want to sit here, then sit, but don't try to talk to me or disturb me in my work. So Xiao says, you can't talk to me like that, you should talk nicely because you still owe me money. But Chung doesn't answer him, so Xiao closes her laptop. Chung says angrily, what are you doing? Don't touch my laptop. Xiao smiles, watching her get annoyed. Just then, the manager comes and says, there are 3,000 papers you people have to give to people on the street and convince them to buy a house. Hearing this, Xiao is shocked. He says, 3,000? The manager reacts casually, if you guys can't do it, someone else will. But Chung says confidently, manager, I will do it. Xiao is surprised by her courage. Then, they change out of their office dress and arrive at the road. Xiao gives his papers to Chung and says, is your IQ right or not? Do you even know how to distribute this paper among 3,000 people? Chung says, I had no other option, so I had to agree to her. If I hadn't agreed, they would have fired me from the job. Xiao says, so you got me stuck along with you. So Chung says, if you have so much money, why are you doing a job? You should be relaxing at home. Xiao has not yet told anyone in the office. I belong to a rich family. Then he becomes sad and says to Chung, you are so dumb. Saying this, he makes fun of her. Chung gets angry and runs after him. After this, Chung is running after people on the street and saying, please take these papers. If you want to buy a house, please visit our office. But no one listens to her. Everyone leaves from there without taking a paper. On the other side, Mr. Xiao is also shown. He is also explaining to people, but no one is taking a paper from him either. While doing this, night falls. The next day is the same. The heat is excessive, because of which Chung starts to feel dizzy. Just then, her eyes fall on Mr. Xiao, who is sitting comfortably and drinking coffee. Seeing this, Chung goes to him and takes his leftover coffee and drinks it. Xiao starts looking at her, so Chung says, what are you looking at like that? Have you never seen a girl drink coffee? Hearing this, Xiao sits back and says to Cheng, this kind of work only happens when we make wrong decisions in a hurry. Chung says, if you think you are not capable of this, then do one thing. Try to sell one of these papers to someone. Hearing this, Xiao looks around. He sees a girl sitting. He says to Chung, watch carefully. Then he picks up a paper and goes and sits next to that girl. That girl looks at Xiao and is very impressed by him, because Mr. Xiao is very handsome. The girl guesses, perhaps he is some rich person. Xiao goes and sits next to her and says, I will pay your bill for today. Hearing this, the girl becomes even happier. But as soon as that girl finds out that Xiao is from a small agency, she picks up her bag and leaves from there. Meanwhile, Chung is watching all this and starts to smile. After that, Chung gives the remaining papers to Xiao and says, now distribute these papers, and leaves from there. After she leaves, Xiao feels quite embarrassed. Then a meeting scene is shown. The manager is scolding everyone. She says to Xiao, show me your work. What have you people done? Xiao says, I have a bad headache. That's why I couldn't work. After hearing Xiao's words, the manager says, "If you people keep doing this, my company will suffer a loss." But Xiao is still putting on an act. The manager gets angry and says, "Your punishment is that tomorrow you will climb 5,000 steps, and if you don't do it, you will get a bigger punishment." Hearing this, Xiao is astonished. After this, everyone sits down and Xiao is laughing. Chung says, "I have seen such a person for the first time who is laughing even after getting a punishment." Xiao says, "I have an idea, come with me." Then it is shown that Mr. Xiao has bought 2 cycles and both of them are completing 5,000 steps on them. Xiao says, "When the manager can give punishment without thinking, then we can do this." Chung says, "I thought after walking 5,000 steps, I would really get sick, but I didn't know you could have such a good idea." In the next scene, we see that Chung gets a client who wants to buy a house. She is very happy to meet the client and says, "I will arrange everything for you." After that, she calls Mr. Xiao. Instead of working, Xiao is in a game zone. At first, he doesn't attend Chung's call, but when she calls excessively, he picks up the call. So Chung asks him, "Where are you? I found a client who wants to buy a house." Xiao says, "I can't come like you. My father's health has deteriorated." She says, "All right then, you take care of your father. Come when you are free." Then we are shown that Chung finishes her work and comes to the office. When the client leaves from there, Chung looks at her foot and sees that it is injured from behind. Then we are shown a night scene. These people are going home. Chung asks Mr. Xiao, "How is your father's health now?" "Today, I did all the work myself, but from now on, you do your own job." To this, Mr. Xiao says, "All right, you got a client. In this happiness, you have to treat me to food." Chung says, "A treat for what?" Hearing this, Mr. Xiao gets angry and says, "How can you say that? I am the one who treats you every time. I asked you for a treat because you got a client. You should also treat me." He is talking so much, Chung says, Okay, all right, I will give you a treat. Come with me." Both of them start walking. Then Mr. Xiao's gaze falls on Chung's foot, and he is quite shocked. He runs towards Chung. Chung is booking a taxi to go to some big restaurant, but Mr. Xiao refuses. There is a street food stall nearby, so Mr. Xiao says, "I want to eat right here." He says this only because Chung's foot is injured, and this street food stall is very close to her house. Chung is a little surprised and asks, "How can you eat food from a place like this?" Xiao says, "I don't have that much money, so I also eat food from places like this." When they go and sit at the table, they are looking around. Chung again asks about his father. After eating, "Will you go to your father?" Xiao says, "There is no need to go to him. There is someone else with him." In the meantime, the food arrives. Mr. Xiao is looking at the food very intently. Then he picks up dumplings from the bowl, smells them, and with difficulty, tries one. He likes the taste of the dumplings very much and says, "I have never eaten dumplings like this before." Hearing this, Cheng says, "Yes, the food at this place is very good. When I feel hungry, I come here to eat." To this, Mr. Xiao says, "All right, you gave me a dinner treat, so for something else, I will treat you." And after saying this, he gives her a medicine packet which contains a bandage. After seeing this, Chung says, "Did you bring medicine for me?" To which Xiao first says yes, then says, "Don't misunderstand this. I didn't go out of my way. I saw your foot was injured and blood was coming out of it, so I brought the medicine." Saying this, he starts eating, and Chung is laughing looking at him. She also says to the boss, "Bring us another bowl." The next morning, an office scene is shown. Chung says to Mr. Xiao, "We have found a house. We need to go see it. That house has been empty for a long time. People say there is a ghost in that house." Xiao says, "So you are trying to scare me? Let me tell you, I am not afraid of such things, nor do I believe in them." Chung says, "If that's the case, then let's go see the house now." Saying this, she starts laughing, whereas Xiao gets more worried. Still, he says, "All right, let's go." Now we are shown a scene of the house. Both arrive at an old house. The house is quite old and has been closed for a long time. Seeing the house, Chung says, "The older the house, the more secrets it has, and in the darkness of the night, all secrets come out." She starts scaring Xiao by saying such things. Xiao says, "It's quite late at night. It's also dark in the house, so we will come and see it tomorrow." Chung says, "We can't leave a house like this. People say the sound of children crying comes from this house." Xiao says, "I'm not hearing any sound, nor am I seeing anything. And even if a sound comes, how will we recognize it?" But Chung doesn't listen and takes him inside the house. She tells him, "This used to be a hospital, and a surgeon lived here who went mad for some reason. He killed some people." After saying this, she becomes quiet. When Xiao looks at her, she is laughing very loudly. He pretends to hit her. Chung says to Xiao, "If you are scared, then sit here on the sofa." Xiao says, "Who said I am scared?" But still, he goes and sits on the sofa. Xiao says, "Only after 2 o'clock will we know who the real leader is." Chung says, "We can't waste time sitting here. Let's go see what the problem is with the house. If you don't want to come, then sit here. I will go and see by myself. Shiao refuses and says, what will I do here? I'll come with you too. When they go inside the house, there are many posters on the walls, which are of a very horror type. Shiao is so scared that he can't even look straight. Chung says, these are just movie posters, don't overreact. But when Shiao doesn't look, Chung starts to show him forcibly. When he looks towards the posters, he runs away from there. Then both go forward and start looking at the bookshelf. Just then, Chung puts her hand on his shoulder, which increases Xiao's fear even more. He goes and lies down on the sofa. Chung looks at him and says, what happened to you? Are you scared? Xiao says, I'm not scared at all, I'm just tired. Then he looks at the clock, in which there is a little time left for 2 o'clock. Seeing this, he is surprised and starts to look closely. Then Xiao immediately says to Chung, did you hear something? To which Chung says, no, I haven't heard anything yet. Xiao says, quiet, let's listen carefully. But he is very worried. He says, there is nothing like that here. What are you hearing? He then says, please, come with me. It's very late. Chung says, no, we should definitely stay a little longer. Maybe we'll find some evidence. But Xiao doesn't agree. He says, we should leave from here. So Chung says, all right, let's leave from here now. But we will definitely come here again. And saying this, she goes out with him. Now we are shown the morning office scene. Due to being scared all night, Xiao didn't get any sleep. He is sleeping when his manager comes and screams loudly, which wakes him up. The manager is angry and says, you must have been drinking last night, that's why you couldn't sleep. Xiao says, you always misunderstand me. Nothing like that happened. We went to see a house last night and it got very late. That house was so scary that I thought I would die. Hearing this, his manager says, what do you mean you got scared? Don't talk nonsense, go wash your face and focus on work. And saying this, the manager leaves. Xiao feels bad that his manager is so grumpy. A little later, it is shown that Xiao is talking to Xiao in the office. Just then, Chung comes there and is a little shocked to see these two talking like this. Xiao looks at her and says, you're the one who was talking on the footpath that day, right? Chung is a little surprised to hear her words. Xiao asks Mr. Xiao, am I right? So Mr. Xiao says, yes, you are right. Then we are shown a scene of Mr. Xiao. He walks over to Chung. She is doing her work. He starts looking at her. Chung is suddenly shocked to see him like this and says, what are you doing? Mr. Xiao is smiling, sits back and says, let's go to the client's house tonight. Chung tells him, has your girlfriend motivated you too much? Hearing this, Mr. Xiao says, with some surprise, how can you give her all the credit? I am very hardworking. After this, Chung is smiling and says, your words are giving me a weird feeling. Mr. Xiao also starts laughing and then gets up and leaves from there. Then we are shown a night scene. These two come to the client's house and are waiting for 2 o'clock. After a while, Mr. Xiao says, come on, let's make hot pot. Chung says, I don't feel like it. He tells her, I'm scared. So Chung says, you have a lot of problems. Saying this, she goes to the kitchen to drink water. Chung is just getting water when the lights of the whole house go off. Chung gets a little scared and starts calling Mr. Xiao's name. As soon as she turns back, Mr. Xiao is standing behind her and starts scaring her. But Chung is not scared. She is surprised and says, have you gone mad? Why are you wasting the torchlight like this? Mr. Xiao asks, weren't you scared? Chung says, I'm not scared of childish things. Saying this, she leaves from there. Mr. Xiao comes to her and says, I heard a noise from behind. Chung also starts to listen, but she hears nothing. She says, stop trying to fool me. Saying this, she is about to move forward when suddenly a sound comes. Mr. Xiao quickly grabs her and says, I'm telling the truth, a sound is coming. Chung says, you stay here, I'll go and check. But Mr. Xiao holds her hand tightly and says, I'm very scared, don't leave me. Then they both come down from the hall. Chung says to Xiao, give me the light, I'll check. There is a box lying downstairs. Chung starts to lift it, but it is very heavy. She asks Xiao for help, but he refuses and says, we'll check in the morning. But Chung doesn't agree. She tells him, come to me. As soon as they open the box, they are astonished. Then we are shown a morning scene. Chung is smiling seeing those things. That thing was not a ghost, but fish. Chung then calls the neighbors and shows them the fish, and all the confusion is cleared up. Then we are shown an office scene. Mr. Ran and his mother come to the agency because the mom wants to buy a new house. She is the same client Chung had met 2 days earlier. She sees them and comes closer, but when she sees Mr. Ran, she is shocked. Mr. Ran's mom, introducing him, explains, this is my son who has come from abroad. Mr. Ran also recognizes Chung upon seeing her. This is the one I asked for an autograph from. Then Mr. Xiao takes Mr. Ran aside in private. He tells him, you have to keep my identity a secret. Then he reads the contract and makes the deal. Mr. Xiao is watching Chung, seeing how excited she is for Mr. Ran. He feels bad. After a little while, Mr. Xiao stands up and says, Auntie, I'll be right back. Saying this, he leaves and lightly grabs Chung's hand. Chung asks, what happened? But Mr. Xiao tells her, follow me, and goes outside. She comes outside and asks Mr. Shiao angrily, why did you call me here? Mr. Shiao says, looking at your expressions, it seems like you are going crazy for Mr. Ran. This is not right at all. Chung smiles at his words. She says, I know you are doing this on purpose, but no matter what you do, you can't keep me away from Mr. Ran. So Shiao says, you are selling them a house, not your body, so don't try to impress them too much. At this, Cheng starts hitting Shiao. Just then, Mr. Ran also arrives. So Chung says, the people selling the house are not answering the call right now. We think they are stuck in traffic. After a short while, the owner of the house arrives and gives them the papers for his house. Then we are shown a scene on the road. Chung is going home. It is raining very heavily. Mr. Ran is going with his driver. Seeing Chung, he pulls the car to the side and says, why are you walking like this in such heavy rain? Chung says, I'm just going to the office. Mr. Ran says, come on, I'll drop you. Chung gets in the car. On the way, Mr. Ran sees that Chung has gotten wet. He gives her a tissue paper. Chung thanks him. Mr. Ran smiles and says, whenever we meet, you keep saying sorry or thank you. Chung gets embarrassed. As soon as she reaches the office, Chung sees Mr. Shiao eating ice cream. She says to Mr. Ran, please wait right here. She goes inside, brings a plant and says, this is your birthday gift. Mr. Ran is surprised and says, thank you. Mr. Shiao is watching all of this. Mr. Ran says to Cheng, you can deliver this plant to my mom. She will take care of it. Then he gives the plant into Cheng's hand and leaves. Just then, Mr. Shiao comes and says, I will deliver it to your house. So Cheng says angrily, have you gone mad? Why are you copying me like this? Mr. Shiao says, you are the one who's mad running after him, when you know he can't bring light in the darkness. Cheng calls out to him and says, why are you going out during work? But Shiao leaves from there without saying anything to her. The next day in the office, Chung is angry with Mr. Shiao because of what happened yesterday. Mr. Shiao tries to appease her, but Chung ignores him. While trying to persuade her, he says, don't be angry with me. Chung says, all right, I'm not angry. If you complete this project right now. Mr. Shiao smiles and says, don't worry, I'll do it right now. In the next scene, we see Mr. Ran's mom invites Cheng and Shiao for dinner. She has also cooked a lot of food. After trying it, Shiao says, your food is very tasty. Eating your handmade food reminded me of my mom. Hearing this, Mr. Ran's mom gets emotional. At the same time, Mr. Ran says, thank you so much for coming here, but when I am not at home, you guys should come and meet my mom. Then Chung says, we are really very happy to be here. Mr. Ran's mom says, you try this dish. It's Mr. Ran's favorite. Mr. Ran starts to smile and begins to pass his favorite dish towards her. Just as Chung is about to take it, Shiao rotates it towards himself and says, I will definitely try this because I have never seen such a dish before. Then he says, it looks like crab, but it has too much salt and oil. It's not good for your health. Saying this, he tastes it and then says, but it is really very tasty. Mr. Ran's mom smiles hearing his words. Chung then starts to rotate the table, but Shiao stops her and doesn't let it go towards Chung and is talking to Mr. Ran's mom. You should also eat with us because your son will go abroad and marry some foreign girl. Chung does not like his comment. Mr. Ran's mom says, I have already told him I want a daughter-in-law from China only. Hearing this, Mr. Ran stops his mom and says, don't talk on this topic. In the next scene, it is shown that Chung comes to her home. She gets a message from a customer care number. The ID name is I am your daddy. Chung asks him, who are you? In the message, Shiao replies to her, who do you think I could be? Chung gets a little worried and checks his account. She finds out that this is the same customer who asked her to rent out a house, meaning it's Shiao. Chung understands and sends him a voice recording saying, stop your childish antics. If you don't, you will find out tomorrow. Shiao feels bad after listening to the recording. He says, how can you treat me like this? You are so rude. Chung smiles and says, do you really think I didn't know who you were? Hearing this, Mr. Shiao smiles. Then Chung gets a message from Mr. Ran, seeing which she becomes happy and starts talking to him. Shiao is disturbing her by messaging her. She doesn't reply to him. She tells Shiao, I'm busy, and starts talking to Mr. Ran again. But Shiao is continuously messaging her, so Chung blocks Shiao. When Xiao's message doesn't send, he is shocked and says, she blocked me? How dare she put me on the blacklist? The next morning, an office scene is shown. Chung is listening to music with headphones on. Shiao comes there and is surprised to see her because she is looking very happy. Then Shiao stands behind her and starts to check her phone. When he sees Mr. Ran's photo, he angrily pulls out her headphone, which scares Chung. He says, don't watch such videos in the office. Chung says, my watching a video doesn't affect your work in any way. Shiao then asks her, what are you eating tonight? Chung smiles and says, sorry, but tonight I have a plan with someone else. Saying this, she leaves. Shiao is left shocked. In the next scene, Chung is shopping. She tries on a dress for her dinner date, Xiao secretly follows her. The salesgirl of that shop recognizes Xiao, but Xiao tells her, "Deal with that lady nicely and don't tell her about me." Then that salesgirl starts showing Chung nice dresses. When Chung comes out after changing her dress, she's looking very beautiful. Xiao is mesmerized seeing her. He gets so lost in looking at her that Chung sees him. She then asks, "What are you doing here?" Xiao makes excuses. Chung says, "Don't tell me you were following me." Xiao starts to smile. Chung pays the salesgirl for the dress and starts to leave from there. Xiao stops her, takes a jacket out of her bag, and while giving it says, "First, wear this." And then, while making her wear it says, "There are a lot of people here, so you shouldn't expose your shoulders." Chung says, "You are very annoying, and why are you following me?" So Xiao says, "We are both partners, and as for following, I was not following you. I just wanted to know where you were going." Chung is very irritated by his words. As she's about to leave, her foot twists, causing her to fall down. Then we are shown a hospital scene. Xiao brings Chung to the hospital. Chung has a sprain in her foot, so the doctor bandages it. Xiao jokingly touches it, which makes Chung scream. So Xiao laughs and says, "I was just joking with you," and then says, "If you want to go home, don't beg me." Chung remains silent, says nothing. Xiao then lifts her up in his arms. In the next scene, Xiao comes to drop Chung home. Chung gets out of the car, but she is finding it difficult to walk. The bag that Xiao has in his hand, he hands it to Chung and then lifts Chung and starts to carry her. The lane is very narrow, which is why the car cannot go inside. Chung then turns on the room light and says, "Sit me here on the bed." Xiao sits her down and then starts to take off her shoes. Chung tries to stop him. "Don't do that, I'll take them off myself." But Xiao does not listen to her. Then we are shown Mr. Ran. He has been waiting for Chung for a long time, but when Chung does not arrive, he starts messaging her. Chung's mobile is on silent, so she doesn't even realize. Then Xiao explains to Chung, "You should take care of yourself. Your injury is small, but if you don't pay attention, it can also become big." When Chung sees Mr. Ran's message, she gets a little upset. Mr. Xiao looks at her and asks, "What happened?" Chung says, "Nothing, you go away from here." Mr. Ran had written in the message, "When you messaged me, I was very happy. I thought you were busy, but what a shame that I am waiting for you here and you never came." Chung gets sad after reading the message, and tears come to her eyes. She does not reply. So Xiao understands that this is Mr. Ran's message. He then tells her, "All right, I'm going. If anything happens, just call me." Then Chung messages Mr. Ran, apologizes, and explains, "I had a small accident. That's why I couldn't come." On the other side, Xiao is thinking about every special moment of Chung's. Thinking about all this, he starts laughing at himself. He thinks, "After all, why do I worry so much about Chung? When she's with Mr. Ran, why don't I like it?" In the next scene, it is shown that Xiao comes to meet Chung after work. Chung says, "You have already come to see me twice? Now our joint performance depends on you, because I can't go to sell the house." Hearing this, Xiao says, "So that means I should come here every day? I will have lunch with you and also see if you are taking your medicine on time or not." Hearing this, Chung says, "How will we do our work? And you come here to eat free food?" Just then, the bell rings outside. He asks Chung, "Who has come?" Chung says, "How would I know? You go and check." Xiao checks and a parcel has arrived, which Mr. Ran has sent. After the parcel arrives, Xiao says, "What is going on between you and Mr. Ran? We were supposed to get them a house, we got that. Why are you still in touch with them? And they are also sending you things." Chung says, "That's none of your business." As she opens the parcel, a gift and a letter come out. Chung reads the letter. "Yesterday I was very rude, so I sent a small gift. I am sure you will like it. Get well soon." Chung becomes very happy seeing his message and gift. Xiao says, "Can't you react normally? This is just a small toy, there is no need to overreact so much." Chung does not reply to his words, which makes Xiao feel bad. He starts to leave from there. Then, when Chung's foot is better, Xiao takes her to the seaside. Chung says, "The place is very nice, but why did you bring me here?" Xiao says, "Come on, let's both go for a boat ride." Chung is about to say something when the captain comes from behind. The captain says, "Master Xiao, I am very happy to see you. I am meeting you after a long time." Xiao meets him and says, "Please don't call Dad and tell him." The captain says, "All right." Then Xiao introduces Chung to the captain. He says, "This is my office colleague, and this captain is an old friend of ours." Then Chung is on a luxury boat. She asks Xiao, "This boat is very expensive. Is he your father's friend? Will he take money from you?" Xiao says, "Don't worry about the money, just enjoy the journey." Chung then asks, "Why do they call you master?" Master is used for the son of the owner, right? Xiao says, "It's their habit. They call every boy master and every girl princess." Xiao turns on the music and says, "Come on, let's enjoy the music." After a while, the music ends. Xiao asks Chung, "Did you like this music? At least it's better than the violin music you listened to." Chung says, "What are you talking about? I am warning you. I will not listen to anything against Mr. Ron. Shiao then, while giving Chung a glass of wine, says, I brought you here to celebrate. We have achieved great success in our work. Then both of them enjoy. Just then, Xiao's gaze falls on Chung's necklace. He says, I've never seen this necklace before? Chung says, Mr. Ran's mom gave it to me. Xiao gets a little upset and asks Chung, I will work in this company as long as you are my partner. Will you always be my partner? Chung smiles and says, I haven't thought about it yet. Xiao says, think about it quickly and give me an answer. Chung says, all right, I will work with you. Xiao becomes very happy and says, perfect. Now we are perfect partners. In the next scene, Mr. Lu meets Mr. Xiao and tells him, your dad wants to meet Cheng, at which Xiao gets very angry. Why does dad want to meet Cheng? Mr. Lu says, your dad wants to talk to Cheng about some matter concerning Mr. Ron. Xiao says, what's the matter? Mr. Lu says, Mr. Ran has requested that we send Chung to him in Italy. At this, Xiao gets angry and says, Dad, how can you do this? Chung is a girl alone. How will she go to Italy alone? Mr. Lu says, it's not my fault. I have to do exactly as the chairman has ordered me. Then we are shown an office scene. Chung comes to the office to meet the chairman. The chairman sees her and is very happy to see her and says to her, come inside. The chairman gives Chung coffee and asks, do you know Mr. Ran? Chung explains, yes, he is a very famous designer. The chairman says, I have wanted to work with Mr. Ran for a long time. Now that I have the opportunity to work with him, he has put a condition before me. You must go to Italy and represent our company. Chung says to the chairman, you have given me such a good opportunity, but I want to think about this a little. Then Xiao comes to his dad's office and starts getting angry at him, so his dad gets angry and says, Chung is going there as a worker, and as for you, I am in a small post in the office. So there is no need to speak in my matters. And why are you so worried about Chung? Hearing this, Xiao says, Chung is my partner. I don't want her to go there alone. Then we are shown that Chung is going home from the office. As she comes near the lift, she sees Xiao there talking to her. Just then, office employees come and say to Xiao, Master Xiao, you are here. The way they are talking to Mr. Xiao with respect, Chung is very surprised to see this. Xiao tells them, you may go now. I will meet you later. After they leave, Chung asks, it seems they know you very well. Do you come and go here often? Hearing this, he is surprised and says, this is absolutely natural. I do my work so well. I am so handsome. My personality is also so good. That's why people know me so well. Hearing his words, Chung says laughing, the worst thing is when a person starts praising themselves. Then it is shown that these two come outside. Then they both get a salary message. But Mr. Xiao is not happy. So Chung says, this is also your first salary. You should also be happy. Have you thought about how you will spend your money? He says, you've said what you had to say. And your next month's salary will be more than this month's because you are going to Italy. Chung is surprised. Xiao? He tells her, after staying there for some time, you will get very bored and you will also get depression. Chung asks, do you have any problem? He says, only because I am very worried about you. In the next scene, Chung is out for shopping with Mr. Ran. She likes one dress a lot, so he says, this color will look lovely on you. Chung says, this is very heavy and expensive. Mr. Ran says, don't worry about the money, just see how the dress looks on you. To which Chung agrees, so Mr. Ran tells her, try it on. After a little while, Chung comes out, and she looks very beautiful. Mr. Ran just keeps staring at her. Chung says, I feel like this dress is not for a party. Mr. Ran comes near her and says, if you don't believe me, then look at yourself and you will get an idea. Mr. Ran says, did you see how lovely you look? Chung is looking at herself. A worker comes over, so Mr. Ran takes out his card and gives it to her. He says, you can charge for the dress. Chung says, I will do something in this dress to impress myself. He says, what do you think? I will let you pay? After some time, Chung gets a call from Xiao. He explains, although Mr. Ran is useless, the client really liked the house he built. Then he looks at her and says, why are you wearing this kind of dress? So Chung starts showing him the dress, saying, Mr. Ran bought it for me. Just then, Mr. Ran comes and says, I have paid the bill, let's go. So Xiao says to Chung, we are talking, so why is he disturbing us? At which Chung gets embarrassed and tells Mr. Ran, wait outside. Then, after Mr. Ran leaves, Chung asks Xiao, what is the problem with you? Xiao says, first, you used to dream about him. Now you are crossing the limit. So Chung says angrily, I don't feel like talking to you. I have to go to a party today, so I will come back and talk to you. Xiao gets worried and thinks, what party is she going to? Whatever happened, in the next scene, it is shown that it has been a month since Chung came to Italy. Then, we see Mr. Ran come to Chung and hug her. Chung is a little shocked. Then he asks Chung, will you be my girlfriend? Hearing this, Chung becomes happy and says to Mr. Ran, yes, hearing which Mr. Ran becomes happy. Then he tells Chung, wait for me to come to China, because Chung's work is complete, so she is going back to China. Then we are shown an airport scene, but Mr. Xiao is on this plane. Then Mr. Xiao comes to Mr. Ran's house, and his mom is very happy to see Xiao. She tells Mr. Shiao, I missed you a lot. If you were also with us, it would have been a lot of fun. Then Mr. Shiao asks them for Cheng's address and she tells him, haven't you spoken to Cheng? She must be at the airport at this time. She has gone back to China. Hearing this, Shiao is astonished. Then she tells Mr. Shiao, I'll tell you some good news which I am very happy about. Shiao understands from her happiness, but he still asks her, what is it? So she says, Mr. Ran and Cheng are dating. Hearing this, Mr. Shiao becomes very sad. Then we are shown a scene from some time later when Mr. Shiao is sitting with Mr. Ran. He tells Shiao, Cheng has already boarded the plane to go back. So Shiao says, if I had known Cheng would come here and make this mistake, I would never have let her travel. This statement hurts Mr. Ran, but he tells Shiao, now Cheng is my girlfriend. So Shiao says, you don't even have an idea what she wants. So Mr. Ran says, do rich kids like you know what she wants? Mr. Shiao says, Cheng will regret her decision a lot. Mr. Ran says, I can give her the life she deserves. Now she is my girlfriend, so maintain your distance from her. Then Mr. Shiao leaves from there. Then we are shown a scene from 2 days later. Cheng is going to her house. Just then, Mr. Shiao is waiting for her outside her house. Cheng is a little surprised to see him. Then she asks Shiao, where were you? I was looking for you as soon as I came to China. Shiao then hugs her, which shocks Cheng. Then she frees herself and says, what happened to you? So he says, I was just trying to find out if you got fat by going there. I had also gone somewhere, that's why you didn't see me. Then he picks up Cheng's bag and tells her, eat with me. Then we are shown a dinner scene. Mr. Shiao is separating Cheng's disliked items from the food. So Cheng says, you don't need to do this. I can take it out myself. But Mr. Shiao doesn't stop. Then Cheng smiles and says, I think you're not feeling well. Mr. Shiao then starts drinking and says to Cheng, I have decided that from now on, I will behave well with you so that you know how much I value you. Then Mr. Shiao is about to tell her his feelings. Just then it starts to rain, so he stops. Then Cheng gives Mr. Shiao a gift. I brought this for you from Italy. Mr. Shiao says, well, it's okay, just a little ugly. So Cheng says, if you feel bad about it, I'll give it to someone else. So Mr. Shiao immediately starts asking for it from her. I was just kidding. Then Cheng says, Mr. Ran has proposed to me. I can't even believe it. She is very happy, whereas Shiao becomes sad. Cheng says, meeting him was the biggest desire of my life, and now I am in a relationship with him. Mr. Shiao then smiles at her words and says, then that's a good thing. Just then, Cheng starts getting a call from Mr. Ran, so she goes to the side. Mr. Shiao is watching her from a distance. Then he notices that the rain is falling on Cheng, so he takes his umbrella and gives it to Cheng. Cheng is still talking on the call, so Mr. Shiao leaves from there. Now at night, while sleeping, Mr. Shiao is thinking about the same thing, that Cheng is dating Mr. Ran, which makes his health deteriorate. The next morning in the office, the manager looks at the time and says, why hasn't Shiao come to the office yet? She asks Cheng, but Cheng also doesn't know about him. She then calls Shiao. So Shiao picks up her call and says, why did you call a sick man? Cheng says, there's no need to joke, the manager is asking about you. So Shiao says, my health is really very bad, so I can't come to the office. Then all day, Cheng keeps thinking about Shiao, wondering if his health is really bad or not. Then her friend tells her, after you left, Shiao used to miss you a lot. Cheng says, yes, he has understood that he is nothing without me. But her friend says, you are still misunderstanding him. He used to come to work early and would do all the work quickly. The day before he was supposed to come, he had booked tickets to Italy, but he came back the very next day. I don't know what happened to him. So Cheng thinks, oh, so that day he had returned from Italy and then got sick because he didn't rest. After this, Cheng makes soup for Mr. Shiao and goes to his house. She knocks on the door, but Mr. Shiao does not open the door. So she tries to open it using the password. Just then Shiao comes there and asks, what are you doing? Cheng gets scared by her voice. She says, please don't misunderstand me. Mr. Xiao's health is not good, so I have brought soup for him. Now you can give this soup to him because I have some work to do. Mr. Xiao is surprised to see Xiao. He says, how did you get inside? But Xiao doesn't tell him anything and tells him to drink the soup, saying, your fever will get better after drinking it. Then Mr. Xiao tells Xiao to leave from there. Xiao tries to talk to him for a long time, but he avoids her. So Xiao gets angry and leaves from there. After she leaves, Xiao looks at the soup bottle, which reminds him that this bottle belongs to Cheng, so he becomes happy. After this, in the evening, Mr. Xiao calls Cheng. She is in the office. Mr. Xiao says, I am feeling better because of your soup, but I still have weakness and I'm also hungry. So will you bring something for me? So Cheng says, I will come to your house when I am free. Until then you rest. Mr. Xiao says, I will wait for you, but don't make this sick person wait too long. After this, Mr. Xiao asks Cheng for her birthday date. So Chung says, it seems the fever has gone to your head. Why are you asking for my birthday at this time? So Shiao says, I have changed the password of my house. So Chung says, what does that have to do with my birthday? Mr. Shiao starts to tell her, but Chung says, we will talk later. In the next scene, we see Chung has come to Mr. Shiao's house. His house is dirty, so she starts cleaning. Mr. Shiao is watching Chung work. Then after cleaning, Chung goes to wash his socks. Then she says to Shiao, you are very lucky that I came here. Otherwise, no one would come to see you, nor would anyone do your work. She then is checking Mr. Shiao's body temperature when Mr. Shiao makes her sit next to him, which makes them both very close. After looking at her for a long time, Mr. Shiao says, if I keep you with me forever, will you stay? Chung, ignoring his words, starts to get up, so Mr. Shiao says, I am asking seriously. So Chung is surprised. Mr. Shiao, seeing Chung get serious, starts laughing and says, I was just kidding. This makes Chung very irritated, and she leaves from there. So Mr. Shiao becomes sad. Then Chung comes back to him and says, the joke you just played with me. Never do it again. I treat you like my little brother, so I don't want our relationship to be ruined by such misunderstandings. Drink the soup and take your medicine. Then Chung leaves from there. The next day, Mr. Shiao comes to the office and says to the manager, you are looking very nice today. To which the manager tells him not to butter her up and asks him, why didn't you come to the office for the past 2 days? So Chung explains that Mr. Shiao had a high fever. Mr. Shiao says, I was so sick that I didn't even have the strength to call you. To which the manager, forgiving him, says, all right, now complete your pending work. Then, after the manager leaves, Mr. Shiao asks Cheng, I have to ask you a serious question. To which Chung says, yes, ask. So Mr. Shiao says, where is my breakfast for today? Hearing this, Chung is surprised and tells him, you can have lunch and breakfast together. At night, Mr. Shiao is going home with Chung. Ching sees the manager coming, looking sad, so she starts to go towards her. Just then, a fast car comes and is about to hit Chung when Mr. Shiao sees this and pulls Ching towards him. After this, Mr. Shiao gets angry at Ching and says, couldn't you see the car coming from the front? If something had happened, Chung is about to say something, but Mr. Shiao doesn't give her a chance and gets very angry. Then Chung tells him, you knew it was dangerous, so why did you come after me? Hearing this, Mr. Shiao becomes silent. He doesn't say anything to her because if he told her that he cares a lot about her, Chung would get angry, so he asks Chung, are you okay? So she says, yes. The next morning, Chung comes to the office and Mr. Shiao is reading a book. Chung gives him breakfast, but Mr. Shiao says, I have already had breakfast. Hearing this, Chung is surprised. Then she gets a call from Mr. Ran, so she starts talking to him. Mr. Shiao observes her, talking to Mr. Ran. In the next scene, we see Mr. Ran has returned to China. Chung comes to receive him from the airport. She tells Mr. Ran's mom, you don't need to worry. I have found a house for you. Then Mr. Ran's mom goes inside the hotel and tells Mr. Ran to enjoy with Cheng. After she leaves, Mr. Ran comes close to Cheng and says, I have missed you a lot. I love you very much. Then he leaves from there. Then we are shown a scene from a little later. Chung is on the balcony of Mr. Ran's room with him. Chung says, your mom must be tired from the plane journey. So Mr. Ran says, now that we are alone, we should only talk about us. Then he holds Chung's hand. So Chung is also smiling. Then Mr. Ran says, was everything okay here? So Chung explains, yes, I am working very well. My manager is happy with my work. Then Mr. Ran moves forward to kiss Chung, but Chung turns to the other side and starts talking about something else, at which Mr. Ran stops. Chung gets embarrassed later. Then Mr. Ran again comes close to Chung and kisses her on the cheek, which shocks Chung. She says goodbye to Mr. Ran and leaves from there. The next day, Chung doesn't go to the office, which makes Mr. Shiao worry. On the other side, Chung has come to Mr. Ran, so Mr. Ran starts talking about Mr. Shiao, so Cheng, smiling, tells him, I think Shiao is still a child, but he is also a bit responsible because he gets me out of every trouble. Then Mr. Ran says to Chung, you promise me that no matter what happens, you will not distance yourself from me. So Cheng says, yes, I don't want that either. Then Mr. Ran looks at Chung and says, you can work in my company. That way I can take more care of you and protect you. But Chung says, it's not that I don't want to work in your office, but I like the job I am doing, so I don't want to leave that job. Then Mr. Ran proposes to Chung with an engagement ring, which shocks Chung. She doesn't understand anything, so she starts to leave, but Mr. Ran holds her hand and says, I know this is happening very fast, but I can't wait any longer. But Chung says, you have taken great care of me. Thank you for that. But right now, I feel like I should leave from here. After she leaves, Mr. Ran becomes sad, which shows that he also loves Chung. In the next scene, we see Mr. Shiao. He has come to his dad's house. There, his dad brings milk for him. Your health is not good, so you should take medicine and rest. Then he asks Mr. Shiao about Chung. What is her relationship with you? Mr. Shiao says, she is just my colleague, nothing more. So his dad says, I know you're lying. That girl is also good, but Mr. Ran is interested in her. So before you tell her your feelings, get to know her feelings so that she doesn't have any problem. Mr. Shiao starts to tell his feelings to his dad, but his dad stops him and says, "For now, you just rest. We will talk about this later." On the other side, we are shown Chung. She is thinking about Mr. Ran's proposal. This is what I wanted too, then why didn't I say yes to him? In the next scene, Chung is sitting in a restaurant in front of the office with her colleague. She talks to her about Mr. Ran. He wants me not to work, but my opinion is that even after getting married, I should work. So her colleague says, if you are confused about Mr. Ran, you can take a little more time. A time will come when you will know. Then she tells her, I think Mr. Shiao is the best for you. He likes you. So what do you think about him? Ching starts smiling at her words, as if this is no joke. Just then, Mr. Shiao also arrives there. He then takes Chung with him to eat a burger. Now on the way, Mr. Shiao asks Ching, what time did you come home last night? So she says, it was 12 o'clock. So Mr. Shiao says, what were you doing there for so long? So Chung says, Mr. Ran had stopped me for dinner. After dinner, I came back. So Mr. Shiao says, you didn't go to Mr. Ran's hotel room with him, did you? Chung doesn't understand his words, so she tells him, what are you saying? So Mr. Shiao changes the subject. Then both of them come into a store and start buying things. There, Mr. Shiao sees a ring with an egg made on it. So Mr. Shiao puts that ring on Chung's finger. Chung says, what is this? So Mr. Shiao says, this is an egg. So Ching, smiling, says, I know that too, but why did you put it on me? She starts to take it off, but Shiao says, don't take it off. Whenever you see it, you will remember that you have to bring me breakfast. Then Mr. Shiao goes to the counter and makes the payment. In the next scene, we see Chung and Mr. Ran have come to the airport to pick up Chung's parents. Chung introduces Mr. Ran to her parents. This is my boyfriend. Then they take them to the hotel. There, Chung's parents are asking her questions. You are dating, why didn't you tell us this? Then her dad asks Chung about Mr. Ran's family, so Chung says, you have asked me so many questions that I don't know which question to answer. Let me tell you that Mr. Ran has proposed to me, but I haven't given him an answer yet. Her mom says, why did you hide this from us? So Chung says, I wanted to tell you, but I am not ready for this proposal myself yet. So her mom says, dating someone is one thing, but marriage is a very big decision that should be made after careful consideration. Just then, the doorbell rings. Chung sees that Mr. Shiao has come. He had come to meet Chung's parents. So Chung tells her parents, this is my co-worker. Mr. Shiao has brought a lot of food for Chung's parents, seeing which they all become happy. Then, they all eat together like a family. The next day, they all have come out for dinner. Mr. Ran is also with them. Chung's mom says to Mr. Shiao, me and your uncle are thankful to you. You took great care of us. Hearing this, Mr. Ran is surprised. Then Mr. Ran serves soup to Chang. So Chung's dad notices that there is a lot of coriander in the soup, and Chung did not like coriander. Mr. Shiao is serving things to Chung's mom and dad. So Chung's dad says, it has been 2 days since we met you, yet you have already found out our preferences. Then Mr. Shiao looks at Chung's soup and takes out the coriander from it and eats it. Seeing this, everyone is surprised. Chung's mom says, how do you know that Chung doesn't like coriander? So Shiao says, Chung is a little too conscious about food. What she doesn't eat, I have to eat. Now Chung's dad gets worried. He starts looking at both Mr. Ran and Mr. Shiao. Mr. Ran also gets sad and starts to leave from there. So Chung says to her mom, you guys talk, I'll be back. She packs food for Mr. Ran to eat later. Then she leaves from there. In the next scene, Mr. Ran comes to the office and says to Chung, Mom has invited your family for dinner. Then Mr. Shiao picks up his things and says to Chung, it's gotten quite late. We should go now. So Chung says to Mr. Ran, I will talk to you later, and leaves with Mr. Shiao. All of this feels very bad to Mr. Ran. Chung has also become confused between the two. She couldn't understand whether she likes Mr. Ran or Mr. Shiao. The next day, Chung goes to meet Mr. Ran's mom, and she gives her a magazine. This has Mr. Ran's interviews. Read them carefully so that you get to know Ran's likes and dislikes. Chung doesn't like this, but she takes the magazine from her and leaves. After she leaves, we find out that Mr. Ran was previously married but is now divorced. After this, Chung is reading that magazine when Mr. Shiao sees her and asks, what are you reading? Then, seeing Mr. Ran's photo, he says, you are marrying him, not making a business deal? So Chung says, my mood is very bad right now, so don't say anything. Shiao says, when a person like Mr. Ran gets married, he wants to see his own likes and dislikes in his wife. But Chung thinks of this matter in a different light, saying, Mr. Ran's life and his profession are all outstanding. I feel like I don't deserve him. But Shiao says, if he wants to have a relationship with you, he will handle everything. You shouldn't think about these things. If he really loves you, he won't give importance to all this. In the next scene, Chung and Mr. Shiao come to the chairman with their proposal. Mr. Liu doesn't like it, but the chairman likes these ideas, so he approves it. In the next scene, Chung is sitting in a food street when Mr. Ran comes there and asks Chung, why did you call me? So Chung explains, I have good news. That's why I called you here. Mr. Ran doesn't like that place, but he sits down anyway. Now the waiter brings soup and places it, so Chung says, you try this. It's very good. She starts drinking it herself, but Mr. Ran doesn't like it, so he asks her to tell him the news. So she tells him about the project. Then she asks Mr. Ran to drink the soup, but Ran says, I'm not hungry. Hearing this hurts Chung's feelings. She understands why Mr. Ran is acting like this. Now at night, she is thinking, if he can't eat with me at a normal place, then how will he live with me after marriage? Will he be able to give me space in my life? In the next scene, the day of the presentation is shown. Mr. Ran has also come to the meeting. The chairman introduces Mr. Ran to everyone. Everyone is happy to see Mr. Ran. Then the chairman introduces Mr. Shiao. He has a project. Then Mr. Shiao shows his presentation to everyone, which everyone likes. Then Mr. Shiao says, I also have a partner in this project. This was her idea. Therefore, I want her to also work with us on this project. But Mr. Ran is not happy with this. The chairman also praises Chung, saying, this girl also represented our company in Italy. Then Mr. Ran stands up and says, I am sorry, but Chung will not work on this project because she is getting married to me very soon. Therefore, she will also be resigning very soon. Now, this feels very bad to Mr. Shiao. He says to Mr. Ran, how can you decide about her? If she has to resign, it will be Chung's own decision. So Mr. Ran says, I will bring her resignation letter very soon. Then after that, it is shown that Chung is sitting with her colleagues. Just then, Mr. Shiao comes and takes her aside. He asks her, Mr. Ran has resigned on your behalf in front of the board of directors. Hearing this, Chung is surprised. So Mr. Shiao says, I just want to know what your wish is. So Chung says, Mr. Ran had talked to me about resigning, but I haven't made a decision on it yet. I do love Mr. Ran, but that doesn't mean I will agree to all his conditions. We should respect each other's choices. So Mr. Shiao says, now I feel that you and Mr. Ran will not get married. And if it does happen, all your decisions will be made by Mr. Ran and his mom. Chung feels bad. She's about to say something, but before that, Mr. Shiao says, we both thought of this project. So if you resign, I won't do this project either. Now the decision is yours, I just want your happiness. In the next scene, Chung calls Mr. Ran and asks, why did you resign on my behalf? This makes Mr. Ran angry, thinking that Shiao must have told her this. He tells Chung, don't panic too much, I'll come and tell you. Then Mr. Ran comes to the chairman and gives the resignation letter on behalf of Chung. He says, you know how many tasks there are for a wedding? Chung had told me she would resign soon. So the chairman says, if Chung has to resign, she has to give this letter to her branch manager. But Mr. Ran doesn't listen, so the chairman accepts the letter because of him, but he also says, I am keeping this letter because you are forcing me, but I will approve it only when Chung comes to me and tells me herself. After this, the manager comes to Cheng and says, if you had to resign, you should have told me. Your boyfriend gave the resignation letter to the chairman. Then Chung goes to meet Mr. Ran and asks him, did you submit my resignation? So he says, first we should get something to eat, but Chung stops him from ordering and says, why are you doing this to me? So Mr. Ran says, we had this conversation before. So Chung says, but I hadn't told you my choice. How can you make such a big decision without my consent? So Mr. Ran says, is the project more important to you than me? Chung gets angry. She doesn't answer his question. So Mr. Ran says, my mom is important to me. She wants to see my children. That's why we have to get married soon so that I can give her this happiness. So Chung says, I will think about it when I complete the project because I don't want to leave my job. I have plenty of time for you. So Mr. Ran says, you are doing all this because you like Shiao. So Chung says, there is nothing like that between me and Mr. Shiao. As for this resignation, I will get it cancelled tomorrow itself because it doesn't have my consent. Then she leaves from there. After this, we are shown a studio scene where Mr. Shiao and Chung have come to get a picture clicked. Mr. Shiao is happy looking at Chung. He tells her, you're looking very nice. Just then, Mr. Xiao's assistant comes and says, please take a look at an article. So Mr. Shiao starts looking at it, which makes him nervous. Chung also gets a call, so she goes to the side. Her colleague tells her about an article in which it is written, you trapped Mr. Ran and Shiao. And it is also written in it, Mr. Shiao is the chairman's son, and the company we work for is also in Mr. Xiao's name. Chung says, where did you read this article? So her colleague sends her the link. Then Chung reads the article and remembers many things Mr. Shiao said, how the office employees were giving Mr. Shiao so much respect, and on the boat, why that boatman called a poor person Master Shiao, so everything becomes clear to Cheng. She goes inside and takes Xiao to the makeup room. Mr. Xiao starts to explain himself, but Chung says, "Why did you hide all this from me?" So Mr. Xiao says, "I lied to you in the beginning. After that, I never got a chance to explain it to you." Cheng says, "You didn't trust me. That's why you didn't tell me." Mr. Xiao says, "It's not like that. Please listen to me." But Chung says, "Now I don't want to hear anything from you, and I will solve this problem myself." On the other hand, because of this article, the board members are very angry. The chairman tells them, "I know that girl. She is not like that at all. But if you people want me to suspend her, then I will do so." In the meantime, Mr. Xiao comes there and says, "Don't suspend Chung right now because someone has framed Cheng." So his dad says, "Right now I am the chairman, not your dad. So you can't talk to me like that." Just then, Mr. Ron also arrives there. He says, "I gave you Chung's resignation, but you people did not accept it. So this was bound to happen. Therefore, my request is that you approve that resignation." Mr. Xiao gets angry hearing his words. He tells him, "You only care about yourself all the time. You didn't even come and say a word in Cheng's defense. But I know very well that Chung is innocent." After this, an argument starts again between Mr. Xiao and Mr. Ran, at which the people from the board of directors are laughing. So Mr. Ran says, "Chung will do what I tell her to do." Then he leaves from there. So Mr. Xiao also starts to leave. The chairman calls out to him, but he doesn't stop. So the chairman gets dizzy and falls. Xiao also hears this sound and comes back. Then we are shown a hospital scene where the chairman, after regaining consciousness, says to the doctor, "Don't tell my son about my illness. If he finds out, he will lose courage. There are already so many issues in the company and in his life." Now the doctor comes out and tells Mr. Xiao, "The chairman's blood pressure had become high. That's why he fainted. You try not to give him too much stress." Then we are shown a scene from a little later. Mr. Xiao apologizes to his dad. "This is all happening because of me." Dad says, "You don't need to worry about me. I will be fine with a little rest. I want to tell you, I only have you, whom I'm afraid of losing. Mr. Ran is being selfish, so I don't want you to give up on Chung when she is someone else's fiancé. If you love that girl and can give her happiness, then I will not stop you." Mr. Xiao smiles and says, "Don't you worry, I will fix everything." On the other side, Chung comes home, and Mr. Ran is waiting for her outside. He says to Chung, "Your mobile was off, that's why I came here." And then tells her, "I have come to tell your manager to approve your resignation." So Chung says, "You submitted my resignation again?" He says, "Given the circumstances, I want your name to be associated with my name." And then he proposes to her again with a ring. So Chung tells him, "I don't think you will ever be able to understand my feelings by being with me. Getting married doesn't solve any problem until it is solved. Your mom told me, I am not the kind of girl you like. She gave me a magazine to read so I could know your preferences. But let me tell you one thing, I don't want to get married, nor have I thought about children. But you only think about yourself. You are my first love, but now I feel we don't suit each other, so I am sorry. I can't marry you. But I wish you find the girl of your choice." Mr. Ran apologizes to her. "I shouldn't have pressurized you. I want you to be happy." Then Mr. Ran leaves from there, crying. Chung is also crying. Then we are shown a scene from 2 days later. Mr. Xiao is calling Chung, but she doesn't attend his call, so Mr. Xiao, goes to Chung's house and then apologizes to Chung. Chung is sitting very sadly. He gives her a bag. "I have brought many things for you to eat." Then Chung tells him, "I have broken up with Mr. Ran." Hearing this, Mr. Xiao is shocked. She is very sad, so Mr. Xiao tells her to change her dress, that we have to go out. Then Chung comes after changing, so Mr. Xiao takes her to a bridge. Then he tries to motivate Cheng. He then says to Cheng, "Look at the beauty of this city that is waiting for you. The whole world may leave you, but I will always stand with you." On the other side, the chairman's health deteriorates again. Hearing this, Xiao immediately comes to the hospital. So he sees that his dad's condition is very critical, seeing whom Mr. Xiao starts crying. Just then the doctor comes there, so Mr. Xiao asks them about his dad's condition. The doctor says, "I will not hide this from you anymore. Your dad has a serious disease. If he doesn't have an operation, something bad could also happen. I told him this before, but he was very scared. But I still have a way to save his life, but there is a lot of risk in it. It's possible that after the operation, you may not be able to see your dad. That's why your dad had refused to have the operation. And it could also happen that after the operation, your dad gets completely fine." Hearing all this, Mr. Xiao starts crying a lot. "If I had known earlier, I would not have let this happen to my dad." Then the doctor says, "You have to decide soon." After this, we are shown Chung, who has gone to meet her parents. Now when she comes back, her friend tells her about Xiao, so she immediately starts looking for Xiao. She looks for him everywhere, but she doesn't find him anywhere. We see Xiao outside Chung's house. He is leaving from there. Just then Chung arrives there. He is crying, so Chung comes and hugs him and says, I am with you. Then the next day, Shiao signs the operation papers. Then we are shown the doctor coming out and telling that the surgery was successful, which makes everyone happy. Then we are shown a scene from 1 month later. Shiao goes to the office, and his uncles are there. They say, we will look after the company until the chairman gets well. But Shiao says, as soon as the project I am doing is complete, I will join the company because all this is mine. Hearing this, his uncles get angry. In the next scene, Mr. Shiao comes to the hospital, and Chung is with the chairman. She is sleeping, so Mr. Shiao is about to cover her with a coat. Just then she wakes up, so Mr. Shiao apologizes to her. I woke you up. So she says, I wasn't sleeping, I just had my head down. Then Mr. Shiao says, I haven't eaten anything since morning, so will you bring something for me? So Chung goes to bring something for him. After this, we see that with the chairman's change, Mr. Ran also resigns. In the next scene, Xiao's father comes to the hospital to meet the chairman. He is the chairman's friend. He tells them, I have come here to talk about my daughter's marriage to your son. So, the chairman says, my son will marry whomever he likes. I can't pressurize him. Xiao comes outside, and Xiao is with Chung. She tells him, how many times have I told you not to associate with that girl? Mr. Shiao is surprised by her words and says, how are you talking? And we are both partners, so we will be seen together. It's none of your business. So Shiao says, it is my business because our fathers are talking about our engagement. Hearing this, Shiao is shocked. He goes inside to his dad. So his dad is telling Xiao's dad, I don't want to connect any business deal with my son's life. He will marry whomever he is happy with because for me, nothing is more important than my son. Hearing this, Shiao also understands how much his dad loves him. In the next scene, we see Qing teasing Mr. Shiao. You should marry her. Look how rich she is. All your business problems will also be solved. But he doesn't answer Chung's words. He puts his hand on Chung's head and says, when your hair is long, you look very ugly. So Chung starts to smile. In the next scene, Mr. Shiao tells Chung, our project will be complete in 5 months. If you work with me, it can be done sooner. Chung says, but I was fired from the company. Shiao says, Dad had transferred that company to my name, so now I will handle that company. So Chung says, if you want to work with me, you will have to request me. So Shiao requests her to join the company. Chung starts to smile and says, I am kidding. We both thought of this project, so we both will complete it. Then we are shown a scene from 5 months later. These two are coming out of the office, the project is complete, so everyone is very happy. Then Mr. Shiao asks Chung to go to dinner with him, to which Chung agrees. So Mr. Shiao asks her about marriage, so she says, for marriage, I don't have anyone right now, and my experience with relationships has not been good. So Mr. Shiao says, a person learns from their mistakes. Then Chung asks Mr. Shiao, what is your plan next? So he says, I have to handle my dad's business and marry my crush if she agrees. Then Chung starts to go to her house, so Shiao says, stay a little longer, can't you listen to a song with me? Then Chung agrees and both start to enjoy the song. It is a romantic confession song, while listening to which Mr. Shiao is looking at Chung. In the next scene, both are at the bridge on the weekend. Mr. Shiao says to Chung, when my dad was sick, you were with me. I want to thank you for that. I became very lonely after my mom's death and used to blame my dad, but since I met you, my thinking has changed. Therefore, I want to tell you something. Just then, Chung says, are you about to confess? Hearing this, Mr. Shiao becomes a little quiet. Due to his silence, Chung starts to leave from there. So Mr. Shiao becomes sad and, watching her go, he understands that Chung does not like him, so he stands with a pouted face. On the other side, Chung is also smiling, thinking about the moments spent with Mr. Shiao. Then she calls out to Mr. Shiao. Mr. Shiao looks at Chung with surprise. Chung comes running towards him, so Mr. Shiao's heartbeat becomes fast. Chung comes and hugs Mr. Shiao and says, I am sorry, it took me so long to understand your love. Then both start to smile and kiss. Finally, Mr. Shiao gets his love, and here the drama ends.